I still remember the way the fire crackled that night. The smell of smoke, cheap beer, and pine needles mixed into something weirdly comforting. We were five: me, Darren, Liz, Chris, and Jamie. Old college friends trying to reconnect. We hadn't seen each other in years. Life, jobs, relationships, all that boring stuff got in the way. So when I suggested a weekend deep in the forest, no phones, no signal, just us and nature, everyone jumped at the idea. I picked the spot, an old clearing surrounded by towering pines. I told them I'd stumbled across it years ago while hiking. Well, that part was true. Mostly. The first night was normal. We drank, laughed, roasted marshmallows. Darren told one of his dumb ghost stories that had Jamie rolling her eyes. It was nice. Simple. But after midnight, things felt different. It started with a sound, faint like a voice, whispering from deep in the trees. At first, I thought it was the wind through the branches. But then, it came again. More deliberate, almost spoken. "Did you hear that?" Liz asked, her voice barely above a whisper. We all froze. Chris tried to laugh it off. Probably a deer or raccoon. Forests follow them. But we weren't laughing. Not really. The second night, Darren went missing. We woke up to find his tent unzipped and empty. His flashlight was just inside, still working. His boots were gone, but there were no tracks, no signs of struggle. At first, we figured he just wandered off. Probably out taking a leak, Chris said, yawning. "Without his flashlight?" Liz muttered uneasily. We waited. An hour passed. Then 2. "Okay, this isn't funny anymore," Jimmy said, her voice shaking. "Where the hell is he?" The sun was creeping through the trees now, painting long shadows across the clearing. But none of us felt any warmth. "We should go back for him," Liz said. "He could be hurt." Chris agreed. He started stuffing things into his pack. Jamie was already pulling on her jacket, but I stopped them. "No, we don't split up," I said. "Not out here. If he's lost, the best thing we can do is stay put. Let him find his way back to the clearing." They hesitated. I could see the fear setting in, the doubt. But eventually, they listened. We sat in silence for the rest of the morning, eyes on the tree line, ears straining for any sound. But the forest had gone still, too still. Even the birds were quiet. That's when we smelled it. Something faint, rotten, and wet. Like roadkill after a rainstorm. Chris said it was probably just a dead animal nearby. But no one believed him. Not even Chris. No one ate, no one talked. Jamie kept glancing at the trees like they might move. Liz was biting her nails bloody. We waited, but Darren never came back. That night we heard the whisper again, closer and more clear. "You shouldn't have come." Chris jolted upright. "Tell me you heard that." I nodded. It's just the wind. But it wasn't. We didn't sleep. Not that night. We just waited, eyes wide and ears open. The fire barely lit the space between us. But even in that small circle of light, the dark felt alive. The next morning, Liz was gone. No scream and no signs of struggle. Just her empty sleeping bag and 3 deep claw marks in the dirt right outside her tent. Chris lost it. Something is out there, he hissed. Something's hunting us. Jamie didn't argue. She just stared into the woods, her lips moving silently, like she was praying. Chris fashioned a makeshift spear from a branch and his knife. "We're getting out there," he said. "Tonight." But I stopped them again. Told them it was suicide to hike out at night, that we would wait for sunrise. That was a lie, of course. That final night, I stayed up by the fire, knife in hand. Chris sat across from me, nodding off, his weapon resting across his lap. Then I heard it again, the whisper, so close. I turned to Chris. "You heard that?" I asked softly. He looked at me, his eyes widened. He nodded, but not in fear, in realization. "Yeah," he whispered. "It's you." He laughed at me, fast, wild. We crashed into the dirt. He swung the branch like a bat, screaming, snarling. But it didn't matter. He bled just like the others. Jamie saw it. She screamed. She ran. I let her. It's always better when they run. Now I sat alone by the fire, watching the flames twist and flicker. The forest is silent again. No whispers, no movement. Just me in the dark. I know she's still out there. Jamie. Running, crying, thinking she can escape. But she won't. They never do. That's why I bring them here. I need this. I need them to scream. I need them to beg. I need them to die.